All right, brother. Come on. Come on up. All right, man. So listen, I understand, man, you got things going on right now, and I see you I see you outside, man. I see you putting in work. I see you trying to handle your mental health when it comes to you in a relationship. But listen, man, we got to tackle some of these things real quick together. And I want you to figure this out with me. All right. So let's tap in. Today, I want you to understand how to prioritize your mental health while being in a relationship. You see, what I found for myself is that it's the one thing when you're by yourself and you don't have somebody in your ear, right? Somebody that's next to you, somebody that's always, always there, right? So we can handle it that way. But it gets a lot trickier when you have somebody in your life, right? And you have to really be intentional about this because I know for a fact, like this happens with me too as well, right? As a man, we want to take care and provide for our family, but we tend to forget our own selves. And what I'm realizing that we're not understanding is that when we neglect ourselves, right, we're not showing up as our best selves for our woman and for our family too as well. So it's important for us as men to really understand how to prioritize our mental health. So the better that we are, the more that we can give back to our families. All right. So I'm gonna give you just three simple things that you can do right now today, and that will help you get yourself over the edge of getting, your mental health prioritized. All right. So boom. Number one. Number one, what we got here for you, brother, is your morning routine. And this is one that I have been doing a lot before I was in a relationship. But what tends to happen is that once you get into relationships, you tend to forget a lot about the things that you were doing before you got there. Because now your priority has shifted from handling and taking care of yourself to now taking care of this woman and handling things in life. So you have to get back to these simple things. And that for me was one of my biggest mistakes is that I almost forgot my morning routine, right? So I was going through the motions when I was in a relationship and I was kind of just losing myself in the day, right? I was trying to figure out how do I get myself back up, right? How do I get myself to feel like as though I'm getting something done in the day? And what happened here was that I realized that I almost backed away from what I was doing before I was in a relationship, right? And I had a very strict routine. And then it was only until I got back into this routine is that when I started to realize, all right, this is what was missing from my life. And I want you to understand the reason, brother, what is important for a morning routine. The routine has to fit into you, right? You want to sacrifice at least an hour of your life in the morning as soon as you wake up to yourself. I'm not sure if you've ever heard the saying, if you win the morning, you win the entire day. Well, this is entirely true, brother. And if you're getting up and you're just running right to your phone, or you're handling the kids, or you're going to her needs, or you're rushing out the house to work, whatever you have going on, and you're not having a couple minutes to an hour to yourself, you're doing your whole entire day a disservice. So, rule number one, brother, I need you to lock in on this. All right. Make sure you spend at least and get intentional at least an hour of your day in the morning to yourself. If you have to breathe on meditations, like me personally, I work out. I personally read the Bible in the morning. I personally take time to breathe and do breath work. I go on a morning walk by myself as well. So you have to find things that works for you. Take time for yourself away from life, right? Because you have to be able to pour into your own cup, and your morning routine will do that for you. All right, boom. Number two. Number two is a big one, and this is huge that I've been doing. I've been doing this a lot, not only with myself, but also with my woman as well. So it's called a mental health day, right? As a man like myself, I'm working a lot of hours. I'm working end to end days, right? So I'm putting in a lot of effort, putting in a lot of grind into my days. So what I found is that taking just one day out of the month, even if it means just a 12 hour stint, an 8 hour stint, and you prioritize that to your actual self, man, this is huge. And I do things like I go on hikes, I go on long walks, and sometimes I bring my woman with me as well. And it's very clear. This is a mental health day, so there's no phones, there's no communication with the outside world, there's no social media. It's checking everything off and saying, listen, I'm gonna figure out how am I doing this month. And I find prompts and questions, and I ask myself, Raf, how are you feeling right now? What is going on inside your body right now? How are you responding to the world? right? And I'm getting very detailed as I'm going through nature, I'm walking, right? I'm going through the hikes, and I'm trying to understand what is happening with me. So I'm literally taking away the time and putting it into myself and saying, listen, I'm going to prioritize this one day for myself with no distractions from anybody or anywhere, right? And I believe like sometimes as men, we get a little scared about this because we feel like that we're not doing anything. But what you have to understand is that you're pouring into yourself, right? The more you pour into you, the more you're able to actually now give back into the world. Okay. And now, guys, number three, write down your thoughts. This is a big one, the one that I know most of you guys don't do because I know for a fact I wasn't doing it either, right? So I need you as a man to understand this one. Write down your thoughts. What does this mean? This is something that I recommend for anybody working with me is to understand to do this every night. All right. You do this every night. You go onto your notepad on your phone or you have a book for yourself, right? A notepad for yourself, and you just check in with you, right? The goal here is that you want to maximize your day. You want to be able to you're almost like ignoring your emotions, right, for the day, because you have to kind of bypass your feelings and your emotions. You have to kind of get the work done. So go ahead through the day, get your job done, push through, be a man, lock in, do what you got to do. But at the same time, at the end of the day, you want to check in with those emotions. What was I feeling today? Why was I upset? Why was I a little anxious? Why was I jealous? Why was I mad? Why was I angry? What was going on with me today? Check in with yourself and see exactly what is happening. But the key here is writing it down. Because if you're just checking in on your head, you're still in your head. You want to get out of your head, right? This is the reason why a lot of you guys are going through a lot of mental health issues because you're trapped inside of here. And the way to get out of there is to write it down. So get out of here, put it on paper and pen or a notepad, and make sense of what is happening inside of there by writing it down. The reason why this is important for me as well, and it should be for you too as well, is that when you're writing down, you're slowing down your thoughts, right? So you can only write one word at a time. You can't think a million words now. You're literally writing one at a time. So you want to get out of your head on paper and pen and lock in. All right, brother. Listen, that's all from your boy Coach Rav. I'll see y'all in the next one.